All right, so you're welcome. I welcome you to this great occasion, great training for our website designing. Okay, so in 5 days, like you have watched the previous video, we are going to teach you how you can set up your website. So this is the first day, and this first day training is going to be free. So what we are going to be teaching you for today is how you can set up your local server on your system. So if you don't have a local server before on your system, in these steps we are going to show you how you can do that. So these are some of the software that we've provided so far, and if there's any other updates software, we are going to let you know. Okay, so I've downloaded my own Xampp on my system, the Joomla templates, the Joomla software, the templates, and other extensions. Okay, so and I also believe that everyone first know how to operate a computer or a laptop system, because this program is not actually an introduction to computer. Okay, I believe so. So, and I also believe that we understand when I say Window Explorer. Okay, so this is what I mean by Window Explorer, or if you have something like my computer on your system, I'm also talking about the same thing. So the purpose of coming down here is for us to be able to access our local disks. Okay, and also another useful tools that we are going to be using is our internet browser. So we recommend that we use Firefox. Okay, so we use Firefox. That's the best browser for web development. All right, so and also you can also go online and go and download a zip software which is known as WinRAR. Just go to Google and download it. It's free. Okay, so you can install it, or if you are using other extracting software, because all the software that you'll be downloading from our websites are purely zip file, and you need an extractor to be able to extract this. All right, so let's move ahead. Okay, so now we are going to extract the Xampp, which is known as the local host, into our website. So the purpose of the Xampp is to provide a service of a local host. Just like, for example, when you upload your website online, your website is being hosted, is being stored on a server online. So here on your laptop, you are also going to have the same thing, which is known as the local one. So that's why we call it local server. So the first thing you need to do is to extract it to your hard drive. So just right click. If you are using a WinRAR, okay, you can just click on extract file. So from the extract file, you will see your hard drive. So your hard drive might be drive C or whatever drive you want to use, but it must be the root drive on your system. So click on I'm clicking on the local disk C, and I click OK. So by doing this, okay, depending on your system setting, if this is something like this, you can click on yes, and the software will start extracting on your system. Okay, so without wasting much time, I have a version already on my system, so I will not want to waste much of our time. So if you are installing for new, allow the extraction to be completed. Okay, so immediately it's complete, you can open up your window browser so that you can access the zip folder, the Xampp folder. So I'm going to cancel this. Don't cancel, okay, if you're installing for new. Okay, so I'm just showing you how you can extract your this. So if I open my hard drive here, you will see the Xampp folder being extracted. Okay, so if you allow it to complete, okay, so I'm going to use the old one I have on my system. So to avoid the wasting of time, I can just rename it so that I can bring back the one I have already on the system. So I'm just renaming this. Don't rename your Xampp. Okay, so I have my Xampp here. All right, so when you open up your Xampp, you are going to see all this manner of folders and file. So scroll down to the last end, you will see a file name called xampp-control. So right click on the xampp-control and make sure you click on run as administrator. So click on run as an administrator. Okay, so it's prompting you for wherever, so you click on yes. Okay, so and it's going to show you your xampp-control. Okay, normally because I have it before on my system, it's trying to run on its own. So what I would do is to return it back to the normal stage that it's supposed to be. Okay, so normal, when you open your xampp-control for the first time, you are going to see this environment, these settings. So what we need to do is to enable the Apache and also enable the MySQL. So you can go online to Google to know what is the meaning of all these two guys. Okay, so the first thing is to do is to check that box. So you click on yes, so the box will be checked, and let's also check the second box. The two of them are checked successfully. So if it's checked successfully, you can move to the next stage by clicking on start, so that we can start this service. So immediately it starts successfully, you are going to see a green background at this name, so and you will see stop here. So let's start the MySQL as well. Bam. Okay, so you see it's also going to turn green like this guy, and here is going to show stop. So if you have this, you know that you are ready to go. So what you can do immediately is you can run the local server right away by clicking on the admin, or you can just simply open your Mozilla Firefox. Like I said earlier, it's recommended that you use this browser to set up your website. All right, so you go to the web browser, type in localhost, make sure there's no space between your localhost. Okay, so type in localhost, you press enter. Now if you are opening the localhost for the first time, it's going to ask you which language do you want to use. Okay, so if you look here, you see different languages, so this can run on different languages. All right, so it asks you which language. So if you are English, you go for English and other language. So you select OK. All right, so you select OK, it's going to take you to this environment. Now if you successfully open this page, it means that you are good to go to move to this next level. And this is what is known as your local server. Okay, don't bother yourself about what you see there. So what you just click type in to access this XAMPP that we have in our folder here on our hard drive. This is the XAMPP, which is known as the local host, and also which is known as the local server. Okay, can be accessed in here. And inside this local server, if you remember here, that we have something, we have another software that is known as MySQL. So MySQL is a software that is responsible for database. All right, so if you want to access the database from the local host here, you can click on php-admin. So by clicking on php-admin, it's going to open up the database environment. So if you want to create database, you can make use of this environment. Okay, by clicking on database, it will take you to the database page where you can create your database. So in the next lecture today, as we proceed, we are going to show you how you can make use of this environment to create your database, and how you can use that database to complete your website website installation or website setup in the previous lecture. Stay with me.